In this session, we're going to cover a little bit of the basics on using the messaging in the system. So before we get into that, let's just run over to the setup real fast, go over a couple things. So first of all, you should be setting up your message group or groups within the system. So, you can come and add, and then what you're going to do is give your group a name, and then you're going to select what members do you want in the group. It could be any or all, whatever you choose. Here I just have a couple of different groups, one just for service advisors only and one with service advisors and technicians. There's also some settings down here on the left side underneath that where you can have the system automatically send out a message depending on, what's being completed in here. So I can go in here and say, oh, hey, I want to go to a specific group or group of people. Once you have them set, you just hit save, and then they'll be set up to do automatic messages. Don't forget, at your main point here at the top left, you click it, go to your user preferences. Where do you want the messages to display? There'll be little pop-ups that'll come up in the corners, depending on which corner you pick. You have a primary or secondary screen you can have it pop up on, and how many messages, or you don't even want to show them. So in this instance, what I've done is I've loaded the system as the service advisor and as a technician. So I'll kind of bring this over so you can see what I'm talking about. So basically, I'm looking at it from both views, service advisor and technician. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some messaging back and forth, see what happens. So if I come up here to messaging and I click and I go find my person. So, hey, I want to go look for Sam. There he is. I click, and then I can go down here and put in my message, you know. And then all I do is hit enter on the keyboard. Then what will happen is on the tech view, for example, it will come up in his. And again, you're going to see it in the top right corner. You'll notice in the top right corner, it's popped up. And you see here, it says I have a message. And then I can click on it and go read it. And there is where I message him. You notice how it's pink? So it lets him know it's an unread message. So he can go and do the same thing back to me. Or again, if he wants to change, he can go search for somebody. So you'll notice here on the top right, and then here I have a message. All right, marker as read. Typically, you can use this for just about anything you want. Most people will do this out of the work orders. Now, remember, anything out of the work orders or inside the work orders that you're doing does stay with the history. So even once I take the work order and invoice it out, it will still be a permanent record in the invoice. The messaging back and forth outside of the work order will not. So as a service advisor, if I come in here, top right corner, if I click on messaging, then I can select who I want to message. Now, the nice thing about this is it'll let you know which technicians or other people that are on this particular work order, or I can do somebody else. But if I want to message them and let them know, parts are coming, and then what it will do is it'll message him. And again, you see that's where you see the pop-up here. Now, if I look at this from the technician point of view, here I am. See, it's letting me know that the parts are coming. The one nice feature about this too is with that automated messages, if he goes in and does this, I'm going to click on messaging again. And let's say he sets it as inspection completed. And we do a save or save and close. Either way. What it will eventually do is it will notify me here automatically. And what it's going to do is it'll just pop up on the main screen saying, hey, the inspection's done. It'll actually put it in here. So real easy to message back and forth with people. And remember, anything you do in a work order, what it will do is retain it in this work order once you invoice it. How would you go about seeing any of that? Well, let's just take one here that has a little bit in it and we'll go post it out. So if I go look here, I notice there's some stuff in here. We'll go post this. And then once we post it, we can go open it up. So we'll go open up a posted invoice here. And if I go to the top ribbon, hit messaging, there's all my messaging. So you will keep a record of it all here also. And again, you can always copy it and paste it out to a document. And that's the basics of using the messaging. Super easy. All you got to do is just practice a little bit and you'll have it real fast.